Kanye West had flip-flop on whether or not he was running for the US presidency, but recently he did his first ever rally in South Carolina just a few days after saying that he was pulling out, which coincidentally is something that he doesn't regret doing with Kim Kardashian. Welcome to InformOverload. I'm your host and bacon overlord Johnny Rogers, and you're watching the #1 tea-spilling entertainment news show on the internet. First and foremost, before we kick this video off, let us know down below what you think Kim Kardashian did to Kanye, and if you don't want to miss another daily video from us, make sure you tap that subscribe button to join our notification squad. Plus, if you stay all the way until the end of this video, I'm going to be reading out some of your comments as well. Now, with any further delay, let's get right into today's video. As per the title, the word disaster is really the only way to describe the Kanye West rally. With the year of our Lord 2020 shaved into the back of his head whilst wearing a flak jacket that read security, Kanye rambled about his campaign for about an hour. This was his very first presidential campaign rally, which was held in South Carolina under his political banner called the Birthday Party. Kanye joked off the top about needing to socially distance in front of the crowd that had gathered, but no one really seemed to listen to him. And before I really dig into the meat and potatoes of what he spoke about, let's just take a second to analyze the planning for this rally, or lack thereof, I should say. Like I just said, it doesn't appear that anyone in the crowd cared to socially distance. The video that is circulating online has terrible audio, and half the time you can barely see him because literally everyone in that room is holding up their cell phones to record this. Then as he's talking, people in the back are saying that they can't hear him. I mean, this guy is a millionaire, his wife is a billionaire, and they couldn't afford a mic and an amplifier. Around 3 minutes in, he has a guest speaking about different issues that the black community is facing, and here's where things get sort of sketchy. At around 3 minutes 20 seconds, the volume just slowly gets lowered, and then they mute everything that was said about police brutality. The audio doesn't even turn back on until the 12-minute mark. I mean, whoever did production or work sound on this event should be fired, number one. Number two, even when the audio comes back, it's like the guy holding the boom mic just left it on the floor to pick up only the sounds of confused crowds murmuring to each other as the sound of sneakers squeaking across the floor just dominate the majority of the audio. You know the sound I'm talking about, that little squeak, that, oh, cringy. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Now, I'm sure I could spend an hour just critiquing the utter failure of this event in terms of set and setting, but let's focus back on what exactly was said, shall we?
So that's a Stephen move. When Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Y'all, we leaving right now.
I really wish that someone had written something down for Kanye to say, because these sound like the incessant ramblings of a madman. His own campaign manager told the press, "We out." His own wife has yet to speak out about why he did this rally in the first place, and I think he just wanted to get out of the house. I mean, because let's face it, no man has ever walked into the Kardashian household and left with their sanity. Prove me wrong. I believe that Kanye has proven he is mentally unhinged before he was ever with Kim Kardashian, but it doesn't look like she's exactly helping him improve his mental health. Alright, let's start with the Harriet Tubman controversy. Harriet Tubman was an American abolitionist and political activist. She was born into slavery, escaped, and subsequently made about 13 missions to rescue approximately 70 enslaved people, including family and friends. To do this, she used a network of anti-slavery activists and safe houses known as the Underground Railroad. Now, Kanye said that all Harriet did was free these slaves so that they could be slaves to other white people, which, even if you believe that, how could you point fingers at a woman that wanted to give slaves a better life? She couldn't predict the atrocities that would go on for generations following the success of their initial escape. This statement is something that definitely caused a ripple in his own fan base. It also highlights the importance of writing down your thoughts first, evaluating them as a whole, and maybe having someone edit them to properly portray your message. When you just go off the cuff, it causes so much confusion, which leads to backtracking and an overcorrection on what you were trying to say. The other issue with this rally is that so many people are just clipping brief moments of insanity and trying to write him off completely. Don't get me wrong, I applaud Kanye for not just sitting idly by in his mansion as millions of Americans are being subjected to a tyrannical system. And if you watched the full rally, okay, right after the Harriet Tubman clip, he says that he wants to put black people into power, adding that he will walk away from his involvement with major companies like Adidas and Gap if they don't put him on the board. I mean, he's potentially stepping away from ungodly sums of money just to prove a point. Although I've always been one to appreciate action over just saying what you're going to do. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about all of these specifics because this rally had a lot of wild points being thrown around, and I would probably need a good 30 minutes just to fully address everything that made it a disaster. At this point, we know that Kanye is pro-life, and he expanded further on this controversial stance in this rally. He also said what he was going to do in order to solve this bipartisan issue. After getting emotional over some anecdotal evidence that his life was made better by not having an abortion, Kanye said that he would give people money if they had children. More specifically, he said that he would fight to keep abortion legal, but outlined a plan he called maximum increase. The maximum increase plan would mean that every baby gets $1 million or something in that range, he said.
Maximum increase would be everybody that has a baby gets $1 million or something in that range.
He also went on to say that if people had the opportunity to be given $1 million just for being pregnant, then everyone would start having children. I mean, does this guy know that we're already overpopulated? Plus, where is this money going to come from? Like, are you gonna get a check that says from Kanye West? I mean, this moment of promising your crowd the sun and the stars if you get elected is just classic political banter. But for Kanye, it was a way of artificially propping up his stance on pro-life. He's clearly a deeply religious man, and I think he's going to need some type of divine intervention if he hopes on becoming the president. I mean, he needed 10,000 signatures by noon today in order to even appear on South Carolina's ballot for the November 3rd election. And to his credit, he managed to get himself on the card in Oklahoma, but his birthday party campaign has already failed to meet the deadline in major states like Florida and Texas. We want to hear your thoughts on this rally though. Did you watch the full thing? And if so, let me know your thoughts on what Kanye said in those comments down below. With that, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled Kanye West drops out of presidential race. Well, that video didn't age well, and it's only been 3 days. Welcome to 2020. Love Billy says, I don't think anyone takes him seriously anymore. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to watch every time. I feel like the people that are supporting him are kind of just there for the clout. And you can tell by watching the rally all those phones that were up. It's rough. LMM says, nah, we don't need another egocentric cartoon character playing house with our lives. I don't think anyone is properly equipped to lead a country of 330 million people, but I know for sure Kanye is not. He can't even control the volume at his own rally. Nathan Logan says, I would just like to say if you vote or seriously consider voting for Kanye West for president, you should be deported. That's a hard stance, Nathan. But because I'm not American, I can't really get behind deporting people for their political choices. But I'll let America do its thing. It always has. Annie Mae Edwards says, when you said, I guess even God has to reschedule sometimes, I can't express how loudly I laughed. I appreciate the comment, Annie. Nothing gives me more joy than actually seeing my jokes are landing in the comment section, because it's so weird to just deliver a joke to the camera and there's no one around to give a response back that it was any good. Kez Miles says, they really need to separate church and state over there. Having your run based on your imaginary friend is dangerous. Look, I think they do, like law-wise, they've separated church and state, but in reality, every president has to involve some sort of religion into their platform, or else they're gonna lose voters. I mean, a good part of America is still deeply religious, and they love their imaginary friends. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our editing team for all of their hard work. If you enjoyed this video, please show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on today's story. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is tap that playlist when it pops up. From Inform Overload, my name is the Bacon Overlord, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy.